Breaking news, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson out with a statement after North Korea fired a ballistic missile off its coast. Quote, the U.S. strongly condemns North Korea's launch of what is likely an intercontinental ballistic missile into the Sea of Japan, indiscriminately threatening its neighbors, the region, and global stability. The missile flew nearly 2,800 miles up in the air. That's 10 times higher, just for perspective, than the NASA space station. And that puts all of the mainland U.S. in jeopardy, according to officials. Here now is retired Lieutenant General Thomas McInerney, former Air Force Assistant Vice Chief of Staff. General, this is a game changer. I know that phrase is overused. In this case, I think it's apropos. How do we respond?
Well, I think the President and the Secretary of Defense, just before you came on, David, responded quite professionally, not overly concerned, although they are. They're working the problem. I believe they're working it very closely with the Chinese, and we're going to see they're not going to get out of hand. And I think that leads into, unfortunately, Mrs. Clinton's comments in Beijing.
Well, we'll get to that, General, but I don't want you to get into the head of Kim Jong-un. Frankly, I don't think that's a valuable exercise. But what does this launch say about his desperation? Because clearly he knew there were going to be consequences.
Yeah, well, the fact is that missile showed that they have the capability. It was an R&D missile, but they'll have the capability that they can hit any target on the globe when it goes that high. So the fact is it means they're going towards a nuclear capability force that we cannot accept as in America. Our mutual assured destruction does not work against North Korea, David. So something will have to give, and the Chinese, I think, know that this president means business.
But on the other hand, General, I'm wondering if the Chinese have the influence with this guy. I mean, he clearly knew that there were going to be consequences. He clearly cares nothing at all about how many of his people die as a result of his actions. What makes you think that China will have any effect on his actions?
Well, China can close them down. The fact is between the United States and China, and if we have other allies working, we can close that country down economically. We can starve them, we can cut their fuel, we can drive them into the ground. And I think those are the kind of steps that need to be taken.
Yeah. All right. Well, while Kim is threatening the free world, literally the entire free world, with this intercontinental ballistic missile, Hillary Clinton, as you mentioned, is in China, talking about the United States and claiming that it is U.S. bullying of small nations, and one can only assume she was referring to North Korea, that is causing the threat, not necessarily Kim Jong-un. What do you make of her comments?
I think she is aiding and abetting Kim Jong-un, who is our enemy, and that is a very dangerous thing to do and should not be tolerated for a former Secretary of State, particularly when she's outside the country. It's different if she's in the United States, but when she's outside the United States, and particularly in China, she should not be doing that. And she's got a rap record, you know. I mean, her approval of Uranium-1, despite having the people telling her, FBI informant, that what it was. And look,
but to be deflecting blame from anybody except the madman who is now controlling North Korea just seems crazy to me, and I think, frankly, to most Americans. General, I'm sorry, but with the breaking news, we've run out of time. Lieutenant General Thomas McInerney, great to see you, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.